My Lords, it is an honour to rise to contribute to this debate and to join this House. I begin by extending my sincere thanks to all the people in this place who have been extraordinarily generous in their welcome. Blackrod, the doorkeepers, the special advisors, the catering staff, the mailroom team, the clerks, the reception attendants, the tech and security specialists. Everyone has been so accommodating and helpful while I walk around in circles trying to navigate this side of the estate, or try and tap my phone to Apple Pay my vote instead of using my pass. My special thanks to Mrs. Mimi Tsehai Gebret-Sadek, who has been a warm, smiling face every time I've gone for a cup of tea in Millbank House. I'm particularly grateful to my introducers. My noble friend, Baroness Smith of Basildon. I am in awe of her leadership in this House. I look forward to learning much from the noble Baroness over the coming months and years. And my noble friend, the Lord Mitchell, who has been a dear friend and mentor to me for 2 decades. Thank you also to the Chief Whip, Lord Kennedy of Southwark, for his extensive counsel and guidance. And to members from all sides of this House, thank you for your kindness. I look forward to working with you on mutual areas of interest and expertise. I'm speaking in this debate because this vital new legislation speaks so much to what is important in our great land, my motivations for getting into politics, and the experience I have amassed. I grew up in Wembley Park and spent my weekends studying at Brent Town Hall Library. I loved the diversity of my neighbourhood. My dad is from Northampton, where all his family worked on the markets across the county. I started my working life helping my grandfather on his market stall, selling ladies' fashions, and in London in my parents' interior furnishing shop. I am certain that I was never paid the minimum wage in the family businesses. But what I did gain was an opportunity to listen and connect to so many different people. It was at Birmingham University where I engaged in vociferous debate with my Labour economics tutor, Professor Siebert, as I advocated for workers' rights, much to the amusement of fellow students, and I immersed myself in student politics. I joined Labour because I passionately shared the party's values and goals of striving for equality, social justice, and a world free of discrimination. Labour also spoke to my core Jewish values of Tikkun Olam. How do we adequately take action to improve and repair our communities? I went on to start my working life in roles for the Commission for Racial Equality, various central government departments, and the NHS Confederation. I'm also inspired and proud of my family's political heritage. My great-great-uncle, Lord Shinwell, known as Manny, was a national trade union official before he was first elected to the other place in 1922 and was later elevated to your lordship's house in 1970. Lord Shinwell would have warmly championed the bill we are scrutinising today, which will bring the UK's outdated employment laws into the 21st century, turning the page for our economy that for far too long has been blighted by insecurity, poor productivity and low pay. As a solo parent to Amelie, aged 8, and Zion, aged 6, and in my role as chair of the Maternal Mental Health Alliance, I applaud this government's commitment to bringing forward practical measures to value and support working parents. I'm delighted that this bill will establish day one rights for parental and paternity leave. I also strongly support the measures to ban exploitative zero-hour contracts. It was such an honour and privilege to represent the people of Liverpool Wavertree, and in my 9.5 years as their Member of Parliament, I had so many constituents come to my advice surgery adversely affected by these awful contracts. They couldn't plan their lives, their childcare or their finances. These damaging practices impacted on people young and old alike, and any mental health challenges were exacerbated by this precarious work. I can still hear my former constituents' words ringing in my head. I can't lay out to buy a belt because I don't know if I will be earning money next week or the week after to cover my bills and basic food. The provisions in this bill are foundational to the dignity and well-being of our workforce, and I know that this legislation will make a difference to thousands of people across the UK. I hope to make a difference in this place, but will endeavour to do it slightly differently from my great-great-uncle. Lord Shinwell resigned the Labour whip in 1982 in protest at left-wing militancy and sat as an independent until he passed away just before my 5th birthday. While I never wanted to leave Labour during the dark years when antisemitism was rife in the party, I am so glad to have been able to return to my political home under the leadership of Sir Keir Starmer. Lord Shinwell famously had a piece of the ceiling of this place fall on his head. During my time here, I very much hoped to protect my skull. Of course, Lord Shinwell was also the last person to throw a punch in the other chamber when a member told him to go back to Poland. While I will never shy away from necessary challenge, I will always aim to use the power of my words rather than my fists. Manny Shinwell, born into a world of tumult and revolution, once said that he chose Parliament over the barricades. In a world today of increasing violence and populism, where dark elements threaten, it is here in our Parliament that the painstaking work of democracy is done. As part of that work, my lords, I will dedicate myself to serving in this House and the people beyond it with humility and diligence and all the passion and insight I can offer. Yeah.